about safeguarding and understanding how safeguarding affects us all and what everyone needs to know. For those who are here, welcome. I can see someone says, I've been waiting for this. I can't read the whole thing. As I said, I'm using my
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, Peter has
So,
been waiting for this. Thank you in anticipation for what we will learn today. Okay.
oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Without further ado, let me start. My name is Janet. I am the Ajala teacher. I have been across the world teaching, and from my humble beginnings in Oshodi in Nigeria, where I was born, I have moved around Nigeria and then, moved around the world. I've been an early years teacher, a primary teacher. I've taught part of Key Stage 3, but only as a cover because I was just that curious. But we've got a fantastic person who has done the same thing as well. And do you know what? She has gone across the key stages. So I'll let her introduce herself so that you guys will know that we've got some important personality on this live session today.
Hi everyone, my name is Omowumi, and I have both licenses to teach in Nigeria and the United Kingdom. Like she has said, I've taught across all the key stages. I've been here and there, gathering all my experiences from the early years to key stage 5. So, guys, we're talking about safeguarding today, and our Q&A session is going to follow suit as well. You're welcome, guys.
Fantastic. Are we going to run them through what the safeguarding means first? So should we just jump
Yes.
right into it? Okay.
Yes.
I'll let you talk about. Do you know what? Because this is more your field, UK teachers and safeguarding. There's something about UK teachers and safeguarding. Even though I work at a British international, or I've worked at British international schools around the world, I've also done IPC. So mommy is very well qualified to tell you this part of the gist because she's living it right now.
Okay, so when we talk about safeguarding, safeguarding is big, especially for we teachers. It's a big thing. Like you cannot go through any interview and you escape safeguarding because we want to know if you'll be able to safeguard our children. And with the word which says safeguarding, this means protecting people, especially vulnerable people like children, adults, for those that work in the healthcare system. They also have they are also big on safeguarding, but we're talking about with teachers today. So we are very big is protecting the children we teach. We have to protect them against abuse, neglect as well. So safeguarding is a big thing, and that's why we're discussing this today.
Awesome. Do you know one of the reasons why we decided to take this topic today is because from where I am from, safeguarding is not something that people throw around every day. So making the jump from our side of the world to the diaspora, safeguarding was thrown at us every day, and that's why we decided that we must talk about it. If it was something that was talked about all the time where we come from, then we don't need to talk about it. But because there's that big gap in people's knowledge of safeguarding, we decided no, we have to dedicate a whole live session to safeguarding. Should we tell them the origin of how safeguarding came to be, or we should just give them like a little snippet? Guys, if you want to know how this safeguarding became such a big thing and why most of the time they look at people who look like us, is because of a child called Victoria Klimbe. If you want to do a Google search about Victoria and how she's from West Africa and how this little West African girl changed the face of child protection and safeguarding in the UK, Europe, and all parts of the West. One tiny child, but her story is very powerful. Her story is very, very heart. It's a very touching story, and as an African, I understood a lot of things that happened in the child's life, things that we would not take, out. We Africans will see it as, she's just going to live with her aunt, I lived with my aunt for a while. I lived with my aunt when I was young. It's a normal thing. Um, and in our part of the world, we see children who are sent to live with relatives or sent to live with an auntie or someone from your village, so that the child can go to school and have access to a better life. But we also know the other side of the coin, because like any coin, there's a good there's like any coin, it has two sides, and that was what started the snowball effect. Because doing what we do back home here raised alarm bells, and when it raised alarm bells, they didn't think about the cultural context of it. But even though they had thought about the cultural context of what was happening to Victoria, there were so many other things that should have been picked up. And most of the people who saw her looked like us. And because they too, they did not see it as, I mean, even when they thought, you know, they didn't think to raise alarm bells because of that protective nature of, you're in the diaspora. You see someone who looks like you who is struggling. You just want to help them and pray with them, or sort of, you don't want to report them because you don't want them to be deported. But then, are you doing the right thing? Are you
Mm.
causing more problems by
Mm.
not doing that?
Yeah.
I will urge anyone who's watching this today to read up the story of Victoria Klimbe for you to understand safeguarding properly, because that's the root of how it all came to be. There were child protection laws before Victoria, but after Victoria's case, child protection laws, they had to put padlock and bolt and, and all the different things that we now experience today. And unfortunately, because it was from our community, there's a particular emphasis on people who look like us and how our cultural customs can add or subtract from cases like that. If you're a teacher coming to teach in the United Kingdom, in the US, in Canada, in Europe, you will encounter safeguarding and child protection laws. And there's a reason why. Do not say it's because of the R word. It is because of the origin of the whole thing, the origin story of how it all started.
Mm.
I will let Mommy take over from here because she's going to be telling us, she's going to be giving us like an intro. Me, I'm giving you the history, the backstory, and Mom is going to be giving us the intro to safeguarding. Today we're only talking about safeguarding and child protection. Please do not, guys, I know you guys always see it come together, but child protection, it links up, but it's a whole subject of its own. So today we're going to be talking about safeguarding, because you have to understand safeguarding before you then think of child protection.
Protection, yeah. Okay, thank you for that beautiful intro. Yeah, thank you. Okay, someone is asking before I go on, what is her full name? Victoria what?
Klimbe, Climbe, but it's French, but she's from West Africa. So there's in French we say the accent. In Africa, in English we say the accent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, like I said before that beautiful intro, what safeguarding means, this is protecting a child, protecting vulnerable people from neglect, from harm, from abuse. So when we talk about safeguarding, it's just like you guiding someone, just from the word safeguarding, guiding someone safe. So the person has to be safe, the environment has to be safe, and we have types of safeguarding. So we know the meaning of safeguarding now. Now let's go to the types of safeguarding, because you might think, okay, I'm safeguarding this person. And while you're safeguarding that person, you're already breaching the rules of safeguarding. So because we have several types of safeguarding. So we have the emotional abuse. So that is the first type of safeguarding. We have the emotional abuse. Okay, so we have several types of abuse. I mean, we have the emotional abuse, which is linked to safeguarding. You have to safeguard this person's emotions as well. So if you're neglecting the person's emotion, you're already going against the word safeguarding. So we have the emotional abuse, we have the physical abuse. So we all know what the physical abuse means. We have the physical abuse like eating, like slapping, like some other physical abuse as well. So we have physical abuse. We have the emotional, like I've talked about. We also have the sexual abuse. Yes, this is also part of type of abuse which is linked to safeguarding. We have the sexual abuse, we have the online abuse. So even if you've not
Yes.
done these three, okay, no emotional abuse, no physical abuse, no sexual abuse, you might even be abusing someone online. So whereby we talk about cyberbullying. Even in schools, students have been trained against cyberbullying. So we also have the online abuse. So we have all these types of abuse. We have more than this. We have more than these four that I've talked about. We also have some other abuse as well. We have the neglect. Yeah, neglect is whereby, okay, you've not done any emotional abuse, no physical, no
Physical.
online, but you're actually neglecting a child that is calling your attention. Hi miss, but you're neglecting that child. That is a safeguarding concern, because we also have neglect whereby a child needs your attention and then you're not giving the child the attention he or she needs. And then we also take neglect as when not only when a child needs your attention and then you're not listening, when you're not also paying attention to the need of that child. So for example, there's a child in your class. You notice this child is a very active child, or you know that this child is very active. And then on this particular day, this child comes into your class and starts sleeping. And you just feel, oh, maybe he's tired. We don't do maybe in safeguarding.
No.
We don't do maybe.
Or
You have to get to the,
you say,
yeah.
oh, today is not talking. Thank God.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, thank God he's not talking today, and then you just forget about the child. No, you have to. In fact, a child sleeping in your class, you have to get the safeguarding department to
Quickly.
what's going on. This child is not always like this, so that we know what is going on. And if you go through safeguarding training, they will ask you questions. The last one I did, and that is why we teachers we renew all these trainings every year. You go through this training every year, so that even if we forget we forgotten last year, we will remember, we will refresh again
Mhm.
to remember, are we still in line? Are we still on track with our safeguarding rules and policies? So in your safeguarding classes or training, they will ask you scenario. That is what I love about one-to-one, especially physical training, I mean. So they might ask you scenario: what if a student in your class is doing this? What are you going to do? What if a student in your class happens to have this? Just scenario, fictional scenario, what are you going to do? So we should know what we are going to do when it comes to safeguarding. What if a child in your class tells you this? What are we going to do? So I don't want to say everything now, because safeguarding is a very big topic, and we're still going to talk about all these things, because safeguarding.
It's a big one. It's
It
a
is
very big
broad.
one.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a very big one. It's a very big one. Because a tiny you might be abiding by the rules of safeguarding, and just a tiny mistake might just slip from your hand, and that's a safeguarding concern. So we just have to take safeguarding serious.
Yeah. There's something that was in the news recently, because safeguarding doesn't only deal with children. It also,
Yeah.
like Naomi said, it also covers adults, vulnerable people, people who SEN children, who, even though they're adults, you have to
Yeah.
safeguard them because they're vulnerable and they need the extra help to speak, like someone to speak for them or things like that. Now, like mommy said, neglect also comes as part of safeguarding. You just feel like, okay, I've done everything that I'm supposed to do,
Mm.
but I've neglected. Like the story of Victoria. In Victoria's case was, there was abuse going on. There was physical abuse, there was emotional abuse, there was every single, that girl ticked off all the abuse cases from the person who was abusing her. Now, the people who were later arrested were people like the nurses who dealt with her, because she was, if you go into her story, she had burns on her body. So the nurses were roped into it. Why? Because they neglected to report. The
Mm.
doctor who saw
Mm.
her was also roped into it because he neglected the police people who saw her, the social workers who saw her, the church members who saw that child
Mm.
before what happened to her. I'm not going to tell you the story. I need you to go and do this research. Because if you're going to
Mm.
teach abroad, you need to know the story. And me telling you a summary of the story will not give you the whole story. I need you to please read the story. If you need to watch it, there are videos on YouTube where you can watch a breakdown. There's an animated version of the story. If I can find it, I will add it to this live the when we upload it on YouTube later on. The people who saw what was happening to the girl, who did not report it, were roped into it because they were neglectful. They saw what was happening, they didn't say anything, so they neglected it. Now, safeguarding can the way I do safeguarding, I think we're going to give you people just a few examples of what we do in the classroom to show that safeguarding is paramount to us. When my early years children, when I was in the early years, when the early years children come in the morning, I greet them. And first of all, I'm going to rewind. I do not open my door until it is exactly the time they're supposed to come in. If they're supposed to come in at 8:45 in the morning, I will not open my door at 8:30 because I can see parents outside. No. Why? Because I'm taking care of my class. I am sorting my class, preparing my paperwork, the photocopy, everything the children are supposed to do. How many eyes do I have? Just my own 2 eyes. And everybody knows that teachers are always on high alert because we do not want to be caught for these safeguarding problems. So yeah, it's almost as if you become an octopus and you have eyes all over and you're able to see. So you don't give yourself extra stress by opening the door for them before it is time for them to come in. Let their parents handle them. Now, when I open the door at 8:45 for the children to come in, I greet them. Hi, how are you? Ronke, how are you? As I'm saying, Ronke, how are you? I'm inspecting Ronke's face. I'm not turning her around, of course, that's too much. But I'm making sure I see what Ronke, does she have any scratches? If she has any scratches, mommy, Ronke has scratches on her face. Is she okay? Let the mom tell me, oh, she fell down the stairs. I will still
Mm.
write it down.
Yeah.
I will write it down because I do not want to be neglectful. You have to remember, it's not just the abuser, it's also the person who sees the abuse and does not report it. You
Yeah.
are all one.
Mm.
Because the person who did it plus the person who saw it and didn't report it, you are classed as one. The same punishment is what they will give all of you because you did not protect that child. Because
Yeah.
safeguarding is about protecting the child or the vulnerable person and letting the person live in an environment where he is happy, emotionally, happy, physically, and there's no harmful thing around. Parents
Mm.
have been caught in this problem because maybe how many families do we know where we come from where there's a kerosene stove or a firewood place,
Mm.
the child is crawling around.
Yeah.
We see it as normal because we can always say, don't go there. No, there's no, don't go there. You should make sure that that thing is
Yeah.
the child doesn't have access because Yoruba would say eru, the embers of that fire might fly out. There might be a little bit of ember flying out, and you
Yeah.
will not see it, but it touch the child and give the child a burn. So when Ronke comes in the morning, I check Ronke's body, check, oh, how are you? Ah, you got a haircut. Because I like to chat with them. So I will know as I'm chatting with them, fantastic, oh, you look really good this morning. If the child is not talking, and I know Ronke is a child who talks normally, and she's not saying anything. Maybe she's looking at mommy from the corner of her eye. I asked about the scratch. She's looking at mommy from the corner of her eye, and mommy's giving her the eye. We know the African eye. Mommy's giving her the eye. Then I know This is a cause for concern. Basically, anything that makes your alarm bells go off, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is not right. There's something going on here.
Mm.
Please, to protect yourself, go and write it down, cause for concern. Now, it
Mhm.
might not escalate.
Yeah.
They might say, oh, there was really nothing, or maybe that morning daddy went back to maybe Nigeria, so she's feeling sad,
Mm. Yeah.
and maybe some, it's better they find out and they don't need to be afraid or concerned than for them to be concerned and you've not written anything down.
Yeah.
So this is where they always look at people who look like us, because we, it's not as if we take things for granted. It's just that it's not part of our, we have that community mentality where we are all taking care of the child. But when everybody is taking care of the child, there's room for, I thought you looked at that child. I thought you saw the child. I saw it, but I thought you saw it. And then it all falls apart. But when you are here in the diaspora, you don't care whether anybody else has seen the child. You should see the child, you should notice the child, you should write it down. So that if it is a continuous thing that is happening, you've written the first one, you've written the second one, then people can take it up and say, this child is always coming into school with scratches, he's
Mm.
not talking anymore. It's not that you leave it, then when something start happening, say, oh yes, I saw her yesterday. Did you write it
Mm.
down?
Yeah.
Did you write it down? Children in primary, when I was in primary, the same thing. I talked to them, wow, you got a new haircut, Ahmed, you look so handsome. Ahmed will come close to me because I've made him happy. Remember, emotional abuse, we're not abusing them emotionally, we make them feel happy emotionally. It just means that you should be a proactive person. The child is coming in one by one. Oh, fantastic, you look good. All right, I've put some things on your table. Do you want to get there and just, or if you have any work corrections from yesterday, I'm talking to them, I'm putting things away. We can multitask. And if I notice anything out of the ordinary, for example, there are scratches on Ahmed's hand, or maybe he has come to school, he didn't bring his bag. So where is his lunch?
Yeah.
If he's coming to school, he doesn't bring any lunch box or no bag. I should not say, no, I should be. So did you not bring any lunch box into school today? Did you forget? Oh, okay. Don't worry. We'll send a message to the office and they can ring mommy or daddy to bring the lunch into school.
Mm.
We are not neglectful. They want to
Yeah.
see you doing all these things and they will ask all these things at interview. But not just cramming it at interview, also, you know, doing it when you get the job is something that we should be very, 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 very aware of. Mommy, maybe you will tell us about the secondary section, because safeguarding in different parts of the school is
Yeah.
different, but it's
With
still safeguarding.
safeguarding, I think yeah, yeah, it's still safeguarding. It's still the same because you still have to, just like Jay said, you need your eyes all around. You still have to like be vigilant, be observant. Yes, observant is the word. You still have to be very, very observant. And I can say safeguarding even till key stage 5, which are the
Oh
big
yes,
aunties and big uncles,
yes.
is still the same. Just like you have said, even the big aunties, big uncles, when they tell you, when you see, you would ask questions, even though they are adults. Some of them are adults. You would still ask questions. Oh, you're dull today. You're not that bubbling, not your bubbling self. What's going on? And then maybe he or she tells you, I didn't have breakfast. You don't just let it slide because they're adults. You have to take that up and then write a report about it. You can even get your safeguarding department to be aware of that. The school can provide breakfast. They would go into details with not having breakfast to school. They will do that. It's not your job to do that, but you have to report it. So it's still the same through all the key stages. And then, well, with the older one, secondary, and then the key stage 5, the big aunties and uncles. I call them the big aunties and uncles. With them, they might tell you something that you feel, oh, it's a secret. If I report, won't they think I'm snitching on them? They all know teachers as we all snitch. So yeah. So you keeping that as a secret is you're not safeguarding them, because you might think, oh, let me just keep it so that I'm safeguarding what has happened. You're not safeguarding in that aspect. You're actually putting them up for more danger or harm, because what they have told you, which is a secret, might not be something you need to keep a secret. It might be a cause for concern you have to report like ASAP. And that is why this question comes up in every interview, that if a child tells you a secret, what are you going to do? You don't keep, if they tell you that, oh, I'm going to tell you something, can you keep it as a secret? You let them know that you cannot keep it as a secret, but you create that safe environment for them to be able to open up to you, and then let you pass it on to the safeguarding department for them to handle it. So it's the same across the key stages. It's the same.
Yeah. As you were talking just now, I just remember something that, look, guys, comment down below if you've heard this before. If you're in the UK, or if you've not been in the UK, but you've seen some adverts, because I think I've seen an advert on YouTube that said the same thing. You get on a public transport in the UK, or you get on a tram, train, bus, they will say, seat,
Say it,
seat,
sorted.
sorted. Seat, as soon as you see the problem,
Yeah,
say it,
yeah.
so that they can sort it.
Mm,
It cuts across even adults, everybody.
yeah.
That's why I think in one of our last live stream, we said it's amebo culture. Unfortunately, it is amebo culture because it's for
Mm,
protection, to protect people. You see it, you say it quickly, and it is sorted. Now, there was something else you said that made me think about this. I just said, let me just let you, I won't interrupt you. Sometimes in our part of the world, when you see it, you say it, but are you saying it to the right people?
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you saying it to the right people? I'll give you an example. A girl comes into your class, a 14-year-old girl comes into your class. It's a hot day. It's really, really hot outside. But you can see the child is in a long sleeve sweater
Yeah.
or a jumper, or sorry, I'm saying sweater because we say sweater here in Spain. And there's jumper, there's cardigan in
Yeah.
the US. But you can see that the child is wearing something woolly, covering up. Child's not talking anymore. Comes then you find out, okay, you attend to the others and you don't want to bring attention, so you go there quietly, you kneel down, make eye contact, and say, are you okay? And the child says, yes, I'll tell you later. Okay, don't make so a big fuss of it. Okay, I have work to do later.
Mm,
Then the child tells you that I've been raped.
mm,
Are you going to tell the parents? No, because the parents might be it might be the pastor, it might be someone, because we all know children are more likely to be abused by people who are closest to them.
mm,
Our instinct as a community is, you call Lagbaja's mother, hey, I heard this today. Please, we don't do that. That is why in every school there's a designated safeguarding
safeguarding.
period.
Yeah.
Because you you going to tell the parents will be putting the child in more danger. The child might go home and you've already reported to the person or the people. And please let us never assume that, oh, the parents cannot do this. It is not your job to decide, to be judge and jury. No. That is how we rope ourselves into problem. You see, these
Yeah.
are the things that in our community, the first person you tell is the parent.
Mm.
I know how many aunties have reported me to my mother for
Same
things
here.
that they will report because they feel, okay, I need to tell the mom this.
Yeah.
When you come into the diaspora, the parents assume that everybody is guilty. There's someone who is trained at school called the designated safeguarding lead. If you jump over the designated safeguarding lead and you go and report to the parents because you feel that's where the authority comes from, you will get in trouble because you might be making the girl. Victoria's case, they told the auntie a few
Mm,
times what Victoria had said at school.
mm,
And it caused a lot more problem for this child because you just told the person who you should not tell, the person who is causing the problem.
mm,
Of course, the person will try to cover his tracks. But
mm. Yeah.
maybe the child didn't come to school for a few days. Nobody knew that the auntie was trying to cover her tracks.
Mm,
By the time she came back to school again, the teacher tried to ask her. The girl was so afraid because the person they had reported to had warned her not to
mm,
talk. So that's how that teacher who reported to the auntie was roped into it and got in
mm.
trouble. Please,
Yeah.
we do not report to parents. We do
Yeah.
not go to the designated safeguarding lead. Put it on the person's table and cross your hand. When they need you, they will
You.
call you to come
Yeah.
and give more evidence. For
Yeah.
that minute, you have put it on the person that is trained to handle
Yes.
such matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
The designated safeguarding lead in every school, in the US, they call them CPS.
Okay.
So it's like social services. In
Okay.
Europe, we have them. In Australia, they have them. In the Western countries, they have them. So please use them. When you go to interview, they will ask you, it is a question they ask all the
Yes,
time.
they will.
Who do
Yeah.
you report to?
True.
I've had a mentee in the past who said, I told them that you tell the parents. No, the parent is not the first person you tell.
Mm,
The parent it's not the last. It's not your business to tell.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
parent is not your business. The
Mm,
designated safeguarding lead is your business.
yeah.
Oh, I told the head teacher. No. Oh, I will tell another teacher. No. I will tell the if there's one name you will need to cram tonight is designated safeguarding lead, DSL for short.
Yeah.
You will tell the DSL will take it up and do their job. Either
Yeah.
he will do his job or she will do his job. But your job is to see it, say it, so they can sort it.
Yeah. No, I love that. I really, really love that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for expatiating. I really, 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 really love that because safeguarding is wild. It is it is it is big. It is a big thing in schools. In all schools, it is a big thing. And then as teachers, we have to take it serious, very, very, very serious. There are lots of things that can actually put a teacher in trouble. Just like in Victoria's case, the teacher told the auntie, you're not allowed to. In fact, some teachers don't even speak to the parents directly, especially maybe secondary schools, key stage 5. Some of them don't even speak to the parents directly. For early years and then primary school is because we pick these children right from the classroom. So there's no way you won't have contact with the parents. So if you're an early years teacher or primary school teacher, and then a parent come and then you're like, oh, this happened and is a safeguarding concern. No, no. One, even even if you're not giving the information to like the wrong in the exposing the child to the wrong person, the parent might even be panic because it's a safeguarding concern. And then you're like in Yoruba, "Ta ló gbéṣẹ́ rán ẹ?" who have sent you to talk about it. Who have sent you. And the reason why this is like this in developed countries is like everyone in school is trained for their food for their job role. The safeguarding, the DSL might not be able to do my job.
No.
I will not be able to do the job of a DSL. In fact, I tell those in that department that, oh my goodness, you are amazing, you are lovely people, you are doing a great job. So I cannot do their job. They cannot do mine. So they are trained for that. And I'll just answer the question someone asked right now before I go to, because it's in line with what we are saying. The person
Uh-huh.
said, what if a student tells you a very dark secret and you know that when you share such information, you will damage the child's reputation? What will you do as a teacher? And this goes with what I was saying, that the DSL, the safeguarding department team, they are trained. They are not, the child's reputation is not going to be damaged because they are trained not to let this information even spill out. Talk less of the child's reputation being damaged. Those that will be involved will be maybe the teacher that noticed this and the safeguarding team. If the parents would need to be involved, that would, in fact, that would take a long process because it is going to be in stages. They won't just jump from the teacher then to the parent then to then everything just will just be so clumsy. No, they know how they do it in stages, that even the child, after this old dark secret thing, the child would even be happy to have shared that information. That is how it works here.
Yeah.
So it's not like it would work like, oh, you've done this, you're a very bad child. No, 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 we don't do that. No, we don't do that. So as a teacher, you still have to report that dark secret. There's no secrecy here as a teacher. You will report that dark secret. You take it to the safeguarding department, to the DSL. And this question also comes in the interview. What if the DSL is not available?
I wanted to say,
What if the DSL has gone on an official assignment, is out of school, and then a child has just told you a big dark secret? What would you do?
mhm.
Can someone answer in the comment section, please? What are
Yes,
you going to do?
please, so that we
And
can
then,
see that they are following.
yes,
Mhm.
please, can we talk about this in the comment section? What are you going to do? My question is, we have been saying that when something happens in your classroom, is safeguarding concern, you report to the DSL. Now, what if the DSL is not in school, has gone on an official assignment? What are you going to do? So while we are waiting for their answers in the comments section, I would go through. Someone said, okay, this is not clicking. Oh. Someone also asked a question. Okay, someone said, what is disclosure? It's a brother of safeguarding. Someone said, what is disclosure? It's just what we
Basically,
are, yeah, it's just
yeah.
basically what we're saying. When a child tells you something that is, when it, for example, if a child tells you, I am hot, I'm abused, it's just a child disclosing something just from the word, telling you something about what has happened to them. That's just a simple, yeah.
Or you tell a child, sit down. Why are you not sitting down? I can't sit down. Something happened to me
Happen.
yesterday. The person has disclosed
Disclosed,
something to
yeah.
you. So you don't keep it, don't cover it up and say, don't say it anymore. There's something about our culture. Hey, don't say it, don't let anybody hear you. They will look at you in a funny way. Here, they will not look at child in a funny way. In fact, the system is designed to protect children. Is designed to protect children. We're not saying the system is perfect. There are flaws in every even your computer that does that, even the computer, even chat GPT that is supposed to be everything for us. They will still tell you check for any error. So every system is not perfect, but the system is designed to protect children. So making the child feel, remember, they too have a responsibility of safeguarding. So they're supposed to protect the child emotionally, psychologically, and physically. So reporting to them is just the best thing to do. And I think while you're looking at the comments, someone asked me this question a few days ago, actually, before we decided to do this. Said, but what if the child is not in my class? Do I have to? Yes, it is everybody's responsibility to see it and
Say
say
it.
it so that it can be sorted. It is your responsibility. Even if you are walking along the road, yeah, and you see a child, and the child is probably where is maybe winter, for instance, and the child doesn't have any cardigan on, only has a t-shirt on, and is standing by the side of the road. It is your duty, even though you are not inside school at that point in time, to see it, say it, sorted. And this also comes to your own children, because you're supposed to see it, say it, and sort it. If
Mhm.
your own children, you get a job as a teacher in the diaspora, your own children are being neglected. Maybe because you have a mountain of paperwork, you have lesson plan, you have us, we have life, and we're
Mm.
neglecting our children. You see the reason why we don't neglect mommy's children when they show up, because we cannot neglect them. We stop the life, we attend to them, then we come back to the life. Because what's more important, them or the life? And do we want to leave evidence on YouTube that we are being neglectful to our own children? Even me, I will stop and say hello, and I will turn to them and give them the attention they need. Mom is in the UK, I'm in Spain, but I'm also obligated to make sure we do not neglect the children. So everybody has a responsibility to safeguard children. Everybody. The DSL is trained to then take it further. But we have a responsibility to see it, say it, so that the DSL can sort it.
Sort it out. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Someone asked here before I'll go through their answers, can a principal or vice principal act as a designated safeguarding lead, or there must be someone whose office is the designated safeguarding lead? There is someone who is the DSL. In some schools, the principal is the
It's part
safeguarding
of the
lead.
team.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
the
Some
part
schools,
of
the
the team.
principal will even be the lead, and then we have the deputy or the designated safeguarding lead. We also have the deputy designated safeguarding. It cannot be one person.
Yes, it's always a team.
Yeah, it's a team, yes. And someone said, I'll report to my immediate supervisor. I would say before it gets to your supervisor, check if you're answering this in an interview. I've been in an interview whereby I said I would go to the deputy safeguarding lead, and then someone said, "What if the deputy safeguarding lead is not available?" So it has a trend. It's just like when you have like you have the top person in the school, like the principal, the head, the deputy principal, and then you have all those. So it has it like a trend whereby okay, the designated safeguarding lead is not available, is not on seat. What about the deputy? Is the
Yes,
deputy not on seat as well? What about a member of the safeguarding department?
team.
There are
Yes,
no members available, then it can now get to maybe the head of year. We still have something what we call the head of year, where
yeah.
in secondary and then in the primary, head of year, the head of department, before it can even get to your supervisor. Your supervisor will probably be okay, every one of this, everybody is not available, then it
And it's not
can,
possible.
and it's not possible. That was why I said, and it's not possible
It's not
before it will
possible.
get to your
Yeah.
like your supervisor. Yeah. But just in case, okay, maybe they are in a training or something, and then they are not, which is not possible, then it can get to your supervisor.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Someone, this question has come from me before.
Okay.
That what if it's your DSL that you have a cause for concern that they're doing something that
Mm, mm, mm.
who would you talk to?
Yeah. I love that.
I sat there. I was like, okay, yes, because the DSL at the end of the day is a human being.
Yeah.
Maybe the DSL is doing something that in my
Mm,
head. Remember, we said anything that makes you go, this thing
mm.
is Kini Jamila Raje, or you know,
Yeah.
you you go and tell,
Mm.
you escalate it. Do you understand? You write a cause for concern to the next person who is in charge of safeguarding.
Yeah.
You have to escalate it. Sometimes it might have to get to the board of directors. You just have to escalate it, because
Mm.
if the person who is supposed to be who is watching the watcher, something like that, there has to be someone who is watching the watcher. So you go to that person and you talk. So this is why as soon as you get into a school, do you know what? All schools, they will paste the picture, the safeguarding team. It's all
Yes.
around the school.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So when you get there, please open your eyes so that you can see it,
That you're
so that
telling
you
it to
know
the
where
right
to go and
person.
say it, so that they can sort it. It's
Yeah.
always, they will have the fire protocol,
Mm.
so that in case there's a fire, it's always everywhere around the school. They
Yeah.
will have the safeguarding team. That one's always around the school. Then they
Yeah.
will have recycling. but they make it very visible so that even if you don't say, children can go to the safeguarding person.
Yeah.
If a
Yeah.
teacher is if a teacher is doing
Yes.
something to them that they
Yeah.
don't like, they can go to the safeguarding team. They make it, they talk about it as assemblies, they talk about it. Look, we always say these children that grow up in the West, they are very sharp. Abebelube children. Yes, there's a reason why. We give them the resources to help themselves, but sometimes they can't. That is where you need to see it. And we keep saying this thing. You need to see it. You need to say it so that they can sort it.
Okay. Someone answered, you have to wait for them. My darling, we don't wait. So when it has
Don't
to do
wait.
with cause for
Say
concern,
back, done quickly. What? You don't
in
wait.
fact, whenever it's a cause for concern, when you see me typing pa 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 pa, pa just know something is going on.
You see me, I'm like,
Okay,
most schools
someone
have
said,
the, sorry,
okay,
most
yeah, yeah,
schools
you can
have
go on.
the most schools have the internal memo system, the IM or the
Yeah,
intercom or
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah,
So it's there so that in case you can't send, maybe you don't have a TA, you can't, or you
mm,
don't have the time to type it, but you want to put
yeah,
it down quickly, you can use
mm,
the internal memo system,
yeah,
you can use
yeah,
the IM. The IM is like the school internal WhatsApp. You can quickly do that.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
this is another reason why we are saying technology should be at your fingertips, please.
mm, yeah.
Please.
Okay, someone said I'll report to the head teacher. Okay, we've talked about that. To answer your question, the teacher can report to the school authorities, either to the principal or vice principal. There should also be a counselor. I think before it gets to the counselor, it would have even you would have gone around the safeguarding team before it gets to counselor.
You
Okay.
see, some things that are culturally okay for us, it's not culturally
Mm,
okay here. You see,
yeah.
this is where the difference comes in. The head teacher, the owner of the school, they are not as important as the DSL when it comes to safeguarding.
Yeah.
The DSL is even senior to the principal of the school when it comes to safeguarding.
Yeah.
So please don't say you are following seniority, because I know from in where we are from, hierarchy is a big thing,
Mm,
seniority is a big thing. No, no, no. The DSL is the be all, is like the police of the school,
yeah.
the internal auditor of the school when it comes to safeguarding. So sometimes the principal might be the person you are reporting.
Mm,
There has been recently, this past year, there were cases of a principal that was abusing some children at his school.
mm,
But who did they report the principal to? The DSL.
mm.
So please, we need to be very, very. These are the kind of things that we go and say at interview that will make them know this person should come and work for us, or this person will put us in trouble. We better leave the person where the person is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, every other person answered. Their answers are the same, which says talk to the next person in charge because the DSL must have assigned someone to take his or her place, and that is that. So I'm going to give you another assignment. Don't mind me, I'm a teacher and I do
Yes,
this a lot.
please.
So
I,
I'm going
I
to give
agree.
you another assignment so that talk about something else and then we'll read the answers later. Another assignment is what do you think this came when we were discussing about the topic for our next life? That was what came to my mind, and I've seen a lot of scenarios like this. What is your take on taking pictures with your students in terms of safeguarding? So I want the answers in the comment section,
I think we saw
please.
something and we're laughing
Okay,
about it
someone.
recently. We saw something and we're laughing about it recently. I know that's why you're asking
Yeah,
me this question.
yeah. So I actually saw something online and then we discussed it and then please, can we have more on safeguarding? Yes, my darling, we are having more. So this
We
is
will
what we
make
are doing.
part
Yes. So
one.
while we wait for the answers, do you have any other thing on your list?
Yes, I think I have one.
Okay.
Um, someone said, but what if the thing is wrong? Will I not get in trouble if I go and report something and they find out that the thing is wrong? No, you will not get in trouble.
No, 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 not at all. Not at all.
No, because it's a common misconception. Let me be
Mhm.
sure before I go and say
Yeah,
something. No, no, no.
yeah, yeah,
We don't
yeah.
wait until we are sure, because if you wait until you are sure, then it will be too late.
Too late.
You
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
it, say it. It's better you see it, say it, and they say, no, no, is something else, than you see it, you don't say it because you are waiting until you want to be correct, you want to be sure, and then you now find out you were one of the people who saw that thing.
Mm,
Maybe
mm.
because maybe I'll give you a scenario. You were teaching maths and the child left your maths class and went to physics class and fainted. Then they find out that the child was suffering from something when he came in the morning. Then they look at all the time. They look at the child's timetable. How come we're just hearing about it now? This child has gone to maths class, has gone to English class before he now came to this class where he fainted. You see those two teachers that the child came to their class and did not notice. Mm. You see, if they had said something, they won't be in trouble. It's better you say it and it's not true than for you to not say it and then get in trouble. There's another thing that someone said that, but what if it's not my business? What if the child is not my child, is not one of my key children that I'm working with for the early years people? What if the child is just a random child? Safeguarding is everybody's responsibility,
Mhm.
but it's more for us teachers because we are trained. So if you're in a supermarket and you say, but I'm in a supermarket here, I'm not a teacher, I'm just a customer. Yes. If they now find out that, oh, sorry,
Mm.
they now find out that you're a teacher and you're in the supermarket, and that happened. But you should know this because you know, safeguarding is something that you do every year.
What you said just reminded me of what I do in the supermarket, and my husband is always like,
Are you
"Madam
on
teacher,
duty?
you're bringing the class exactly. Are you on duty?"
Yes.
When I
My
hear
husband
like,
says the same.
yeah, when I hear, it's just because I don't know, I'm
Aware.
used to it.
You
Yes,
are
very.
aware all the time.
Our
Yeah.
is what we call, I think in biology is antenna. Yeah, so sensitive.
Yes.
Yes, so
Yes.
so sensitive. So like maybe I'm in a supermarket and then I'm hearing some people saying like some words like the F word. I'm just like, language, please.
And the way I would turn around, like,
I'm just like, there was a day I said it. I didn't even say it in mind. I said it. I was like, language, please. And they all looked at me like, okay.
yeah, because there might be young children around there, and that's safeguarding because they should not be listening to words like that.
Yeah,
So yes, it's good you cautioned them. You saw it, you said it, and it was sorted.
sorted. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see if we have answers here. Okay. Someone said you are not allowed to do that. Hmm. It's in two ways, but let me continue reading the answers.
Yes,
Even from the
please.
start of the academic session, I will issue a consent form to the parent on taking pictures with their children or child. Of course, that's with the permission from the school I work with. Okay.
Yeah. Make sure that you take the permission of the school because the school might have their own protocol. So
Policy, yeah.
you going to do your own is also another safeguarding risk because what do you want to use important information for? What you want to use their signature for? So always make sure everything you do, your behavior management should be in line with the school policy. Your letters home should be in line with the school policy. Just make sure that you are aligned with the school. So you don't want to get in trouble. That's just it.
And then, as a teacher, you're not allowed to take pictures with your students. Their identities are paramount and should be kept confidential and away from unnecessary exposures to the public space. Yeah. It's not right to take pictures with the children or students. Jay and Omowumi looking beautiful. Okay, thank you. It's
Thank you
not
very much.
it's
You
not
know, don't
teaching
praise me, I will
ethics.
praise myself.
It's not teaching ethics to have one-on-one relationship with students, even if you think you are not doing something wrong. Yeah. Olaiton with the steez. Hello. Okay, yeah, I love her answers. Well done, guys. Well done.
I
I love
think
the
I
answers.
think I'm
But
going to add. Do you mind if I add something here?
yes, please, yes.
This taking pictures doesn't only go for teachers. Please, when you go to your children's school and the child is in a nativity play and you want to show your people back at home, look at my child. He was the child was Joseph today, or it was a little lamb. You want to take pictures. Please, the school always tells us, do not take pictures of other people's children. Please, people should take that very, very, very seriously, especially because we are teachers. You see, there's some little things that we do. You see, more we mentioned online bullying. They can count that as online bullying because you post a picture of someone else's child, another person gets hold of that picture, they put it through AI, they use the child's picture, they will trace it back to who posted this picture, that sort of thing. It's just protecting children's identity. Please, 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 please. And because of this, if you have any social media forum and you've gone to go and comment some kind of things that you should not be commenting, that should not be seen, please go and erase it. Anything you post on the internet can never be erased. It's there in the tunnel somewhere. But please try and lock the security on it. My students found me online in where I was dancing on TikTok. So I had to go. I had to go through my TikTok quickly. Like, I hope I've not. And I thought, I've not posted anything. That sort of thing. So, guys, let's be very, very careful. Emotional, physical, psychological. My post might be psychologically damaging to someone now.
Yeah.
It will be counted as me breaking safeguarding rules, because
Yeah.
remember, online safeguarding too has to be
Yeah.
put into consideration. So
Consideration.
please,
Yeah.
do you have any more homework for them?
Yeah, so let me just read this last. Someone said that's unprofessional. It simply means something is between them, and that shows a red light, which the teacher has to explain. Well, it might not mean something is between them. Some teachers get carried away, and then because they are so familiarized with their learners or their students, and then they're just like, the funniest thing is these students are the ones might be the one that will say, "Oh, Miss, take a pause," and then you just forget about the whole safeguarding, and you also smile. So let's
Maybe I
just
shall be like one fish woman. No.
so don't let us be carried away by we should always be sensitive, yeah,
Yeah.
to safeguarding rules and regulations. So you can't take pictures, except I worked in a school whereby um there was a day for they called I can't remember what it's called. Then I was in the primary school. I can't remember what it's called, but I had to take pictures with the students learning, and it's going to be posted on the school website.
Website.
I was even my consent was actually my permission was asked. Can we take your picture? Because they can't just say okay because I work for them. They need to just take my picture. No, even my consent was asked for. Can we take your picture? We are going to use it for this, and I was fine with it. I was like, oh, that's nice. And then,
Abby?
so
Yes.
yeah, and even those the students that were in the picture, consent form has been filled. Those that their parent doesn't want them to be there were not included. So it's just about
Mm.
consent safeguarding.
Can I add something here? This one I
Yeah.
talked about consent form. For those of us that don't check our children's bags, please don't come and say it's prejudice or
Ah,
bias or the R word. No, if you don't sign it, they will not put your child in the
not
picture. So
yeah,
if you
yeah,
constantly say that your child is not in the photo, please don't come and fight with us in the school. Because
yeah.
me, I'm saying us now because I know some parents that come to meet me. Why didn't you put my child? You didn't sign the consent form? I signed it. Look at the register here. You did not sign. Your name is not there. Oh, so please let's think, because you too you might be a safeguarding risk if you go and fight at school when you've not done the needful. So let's be very, very wise. I just threw that one in because I was like, some parents that
Yeah,
don't check back will send message
that
home. They will
yeah,
not. They will not
yeah,
read. They will
yeah.
not read
You're
the
right.
email.
Yeah, you're
Mhm.
right. You're right. because even if they are taking, there are lots of form I signed last term before we began this one, because even if they are taking them on trips, on they are going for one recently, say I've forgotten the name, you
Yeah.
still have to sign a consent form if you want your child to go. So maybe you have not checked your child's bag, just like she has said, and then you have not signed, you have not returned the form. That means your child is not going. So
Yes, because it's
yeah,
safeguarding. They won't take your child if you don't want
child,
your child to
yeah,
be taken. It's all part of safeguarding. So risk
yeah,
assessment still say part of safeguarding.
yeah.
So many things, and it all enters this safeguarding. You see, we've
Mm,
not talked about child protection today because child
mm,
protection is another big pot of soup that we have to digest properly. Today we're
mm.
just talking about all the things that makes you not protect, safeguard
God,
the
yeah.
child.
Mm. Okay.
And should we give them where to go and read for further reading?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So apart from the Victoria Kimbe story, please, that one is the first one you have to read. You must read about Victoria. I'll give you a little bit of gist from the story. You can go to Wikipedia, you can go to, but this next website is another place because they have a more cataloged timeline of what happened to the child. It carried on each week, each month, each year until what happened to her. Okay, so this is NSPCC. Yes, NSPCC is one.
Okay. Let me write.
National Society for Protecting or something funny like that. Save the Children is another one. Save the Children. I did a bit of volunteering with them a few years ago.
NNCPC. I'm trying to write it down in the
Yes,
comment.
NSPCC is
Okay.
one. Save the Children is one. Save the Children covers the US, the UK, Europe, is
Okay.
worldwide, but NSPCC is more of the UK. Then the Child Line, there's another one. Child Line is another one. Hey, that one is big because it even has numbers that children can call if they feel threatened, if they feel maybe the child is at home and something is happening at home, the child doesn't feel very safe at home. There are numbers that the child can call. Which brings me to another thing. Please, if there's any domestic abuse going on, it's still part of this child protection, this safeguarding thing, because it means that the child is not safe in the house. So please, let's learn to reason with our spouses, or have discourse and communicate our grievances with our spouses without setting the children off. Because if a child comes into my class with my safeguarding courses that I've done, and the child always tells me, when we are giving an example of home, child's always telling me, Mommy and Daddy were fighting yesterday. Mommy and Daddy were arguing at it. Mommy, Daddy slapped
Mm,
Mommy. Quick, I've sent it to DSL. So you see,
mm,
it's not happening in front of me, but the child is telling you something that falls under emotional and psychological abuse.
mm.
And we write it down. It doesn't have to happen in front of me. My ear can hear it as well. I write it quickly. That child is in a house where it's like Rocky and Sylvester Stallone. I don't know. They are doing Rocky 4 or Rocky 10. They're in that house. Please, let's go and check that. People always say teachers always put them in trouble. It is our job to safeguard children. Please. So please help us, help you, help us. And if all of you who are on here watching this now and you are going to be teachers, please be begging people around you to help them, help you, help them, our community.
Okay. Thank you very much. Today's topic is hot, hot, hot. So someone is asking, oh, okay, Louis, bye, see you later. Louis is saying bye, that he has an online math class now. Bye, Louis.
Okay.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you
the
for
live.
coming. Thank you for
Yeah.
coming. You can, for anyone who wants to take the courses online, Future Learn has courses on
Yeah.
safeguarding. It will give you more, because this Victoria story is the beginning, is your module one of safeguarding. If
Mm,
you are doing any safeguarding course, even in the US, even in the UK, even in Australia, this one little tiny child changed the face of safeguarding. So
mm,
you can take courses on Future Learn. You can take courses on Allison, Coursera, the British Council, gov.uk, I think TESS, they have courses. Just type safeguarding courses. You will see there's a plethora of sites where you can go and do it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Someone asked, please, ma, does that mean one cannot take a video of the learning process in the classroom? Hmm?
As long as the child's face is not showing.
Yeah, and you have asked for
Permission.
um, permission from your school before you do that.
This brings me to another thing. You see, when people go for interview, they will tell you some schools, they want to look for your trouble. They will say, because you are not here, we need to see your teaching online. Please don't go and mount camera in your classroom and be showing. They are looking for, they want to see. They've dug a big hole for your village people to enter. Tell them, I'm really sorry. Due to safeguarding reasons, I cannot do a demo teach for you with my current classroom. That's it. You will see the school will come back and tell you, hey, this person knows what they're doing. Okay, come, let's interview you in a different way. If the school insists, don't fall for it.
Yeah.
Because they might say it and then spread the news that you see that teacher.
Yeah.
That's it. Your reputation is gone. So please, any school tells you that they have to interview you, you have to show you have to be teaching in your current class. Please say no. Say no. Tell them safeguarding does not permit me to do that. They will know that this one is on a higher level than us. Maybe it's one of those tiny, maybe sixth, not even second tier, third tier, sixth tier school. They want to use you to build their no. Tell them no. They will know that your level is higher than theirs.
Randy Davosi, I've seen your question, though it's not in line with what we are talking about. But I have a video that I've answered this question already. He's talking about PGCE. We're talking about safeguarding today. Should we answer his question?
No, we can come back. We can have a different life for that, or you can just find all these things on our channel.
Yeah, this video, this question you're talking about, Jay has a video on PGC. This question you are asking, you can just check like 3 videos I have back. This exact question was answered because the person in that video went through PGC bursary, and you're asking about bursary. So he answered the question full video. So you can go and watch that. You can check through my channel and watch that.
Yeah, you have 2 parts, part 1 and 2.
Yeah, so you can so you can go and check that.
Yeah,
You're talking about bursary. You're talking about bursary. He answered because I even asked this same question you're asking. I asked Wendy in that video. So go and watch that video.
And you had one a collaboration that you did with Mercy, where you talked about this same thing. You see, I follow you. I'm a follower, you know. I'm not just a subscriber, I'm a follower. I follow you.
So someone said, what should we do if a colleague is not following safeguarding rules? The reports.
If the colleague, we just said it. If the principal is breaking safeguarding rule, you will report the principal to your safeguarding lead. Please don't let them catch you out with this. They've asked me this question before. Will you report your safeguarding lead, your DSL? Yes, I will report my. In fact, I will report the DSL's father safe.
The principal.
I will report anybody that comes and that harms my children. Yes. Not my biological children, my class, the school. Yeah, I have to report them, because if they do the investigation and they find out that I was one of those that saw what happened and I did not say it so that they can sort it, then they will throw me. Then my DBS will not pass again because I'm afraid of. No, I'm not afraid of anybody. I will report the presidency. I will report anybody that I can. If I see it, I will report it. Let them go and investigate and say, Janet, what you saw, was not really,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
but
really.
I thought
Okay.
it's okay, that's fine. But I've reported it. Sorry,
Mm,
next time I will look properly.
mm, yeah. Okay. I think we have, if you have any question, you can drop in the comment section, please, and then we can. Okay. Someone just asked, what about parents gaslighting? What about parents are gaslighting?
Gaslighting who the
Yeah.
child. DSL. Remember, emotional, psychological,
Not, yeah.
physical.
Physical,
If it's an
sexual.
emotion online, if it's a, just think about it. If is it an emotional, that gaslighting, does it fall under emotional, or is
Mm,
it psychological? Me, I think they're psychological and emotional at the same time.
yeah.
Why will you be gaslighting me? You'll be telling me that what I'm seeing is not what I'm seeing.
Mm.
Straight to the DSL. Yeah, in fact, we are not even passing any corner. We are going straight.
Yeah. What else do we have? Okay, Nigerian parents like to ignore abuse. It's not that they like to ignore abuse. We all have different cultures and different educational background and cultural background. So, what is okay in another culture, and then we can like think no, is
Eh,
what in some cultural background is a big deal. What are you talking about? So, it's not that they ignore abuse, but
I think I know what the person is saying.
yeah,
For
I also
example,
understand. Yeah.
they bring somebody from the village to come and stay with somebody. And then
Mm,
you see that the children in that house wake up at 7, but that one that they brought from the village is waking up at 4 o'clock to go and fetch water
mm,
from one far place. That is straight abuse. Eh?
mm,
Tó bá dùn náà, jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ tiẹ̀ náà, wake your
mm,
own children too, so that they can all go and fetch water. Then we know that, okay, it's you that they will catch for waking children up at that time of the day. But the thing is, there are some things that we just ignore. We don't want to get in trouble because we feel it's not our business.
mm.
Please, as you're getting on the plane from Murtala Mohammed Airport or Lusaka Airport or Kinshasa Airport, please just be leaving all those Cairo airports. Leave that behavior back home and remove it, because when you come here, you have to wear another coat. Safeguarding.
Mm. And to debunk what you have said, that Nigerian parents can ignore abuse, and not all of them, even those our millennials. Because I could remember my mom; she's a safeguarding officer, even though she,
Even though
she's
she's in Nigeria.
even
Yes.
though she's in Nigeria, like her signals, she's very, very
Always
sensitive,
us.
always sensitive, always, always sensitive. So, not all parents, like you have said, ignores the signs and abuse. Yeah. Okay. What else do we have?
Should we
I
give
think
them a
that's
should we give them a sneak peek of next week's? No, we'll leave it.
no.
No, we'll not tell them now. We'll let them hang on so that
Mm.
they'll look out for our sign, our
Okay,
poster.
it's Isemwa. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but if I don't, I'm sorry. Says I want more of this. Yes, we also enjoyed the life. It's a very good session today. It's a
Yeah.
very, because a lot of us don't actually know that there are some things that are cause for concern, which we just feel. But just like Jay has said, and that is what I use as well. As long as I'm like, just to report it.
Yes.
And if you now report and then they are like, oh, and then they decide that it's not something big, they're well, fine, but at
Yeah.
least you reported it. So unlike you not reporting, and then that actually causes more harm, and then you're like, mo de gbo kini o, because it happens a lot, and then you're like, and that
I
child
saw
told
it.
me,
Oh,
and I saw it, mm-mm. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. But we want to read ahead. Tell us, please. I don't understand you, Sarah. You
She
want to
wants
read
to.
what? Read what? She said we want to read her head. Tell us, please. Tell you what, Sarah, please. You haven't answered my question. Blessing, what question is that? Did I skip it?
Sorry, guys. Today I'm not using my laptop, so I can't even see any question. I'm using my phone.
Um,
That's what I'm saying. I'm just here sitting pretty, letting mommy do all the work. Sorry,
Blessing,
mommy.
Blessing, we answered. You said is not right. I'm sorry. Let me just quickly go through. Blessing, where is Blessing? Blessing, please drop your question back. I'm sorry, I can't. If I say I should go through, we will not leave here. So Uju says, thanks for throwing more light on safeguarding. I learned something new. Thank you for joining. Yeah, Blessing, or my chat. Yeah, I can see your chat now, so you can drop your question. Okay, Sarah says, tell us the topic for next week. Oh, we are going to keep it. It's for next month though, because we do our live once a month now because of our workload as teachers. It's not easy. Sometimes our brains work overtime. It does
If I,
overtime job.
if I show you why I can't use my laptop today, you will understand why.
It does overtime job. So we have decided that we're going to be doing it once a month so that we can give you premium content just like we have done today. So next month, May, we're going to come up with another topic. So anticipate for that.
Mhm.
Okay, Blessing, I'm waiting for your question and then we can. Okay, my question is we are waiting for the site Jay talked about. I typed it in the comments section. Maybe you didn't see it. She talked about safeguarding children, NSPCC, if I'm right.
Child line. Yes, child
Yeah,
lines.
yeah. So yeah, that was what she talked about.
Yeah.
And then she said you can do safeguarding courses on Future Learn, Allison, uh, even Florence Academy. There was a time I had Florence Academy certificates
Yeah.
for safeguarding children. I did level 1 and level 2 on Florence Academy. I paid then. I don't know if it's free now or they still pay, but I paid
It's
then.
still
So
paid.
yeah, so you can also do it on Florence Academy. Yeah. And on tests, I've also done safeguarding on tests, safeguarding
They
children
have
on
a
tests.
lot on tests. A
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Omo says, hello, Omo, you are late. Hi, darling.
Teacher. Teacher.
Okay, guys, thank you all for joining today. Thank you. If you're just joining, you can watch this live session all over again. It's going to be
Yeah.
there, saved. And we are going to see you next month. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much. I remain your humble myself.
Thank you so much, guys. If you've not, if you enjoyed today's session, please just give us thumbs up because it will help us reach more people who look like
Yeah.
us so that we can inform them so that they can stop going to interviews and getting unfortunately. These are big questions that they will ask. So, and if you have watched this and you've not subscribed, please do us a favor, subscribe now.
Yeah. It
Okay.
is free. It is
Subscribe
free.
now.
Oh.
It's just a little tick. You just click. That's it. You are on, and you'll be seeing our faces smiling like this all the time. Yeah. And you can share it with anybody that is close to you, even if they are not teachers. Just share it to them. Let them know what safeguarding is.
Yeah. Even
Maybe they are not
parents.
here. Exactly. Maybe they're not here yet, but they are planning to come here. We don't want
Mm.
them to get into social services problem. Share the safeguarding with them so that it will cover them as well. Thank you so much, guys, and see you next week.
Thank you.
Bye. I've enjoyed today's session so much.